This is countdown to May 29, Inauguration Day in Nigeria. Talking about the activities that will lead to the May 29 swearing-in, a public lecture and Juma'at prayer have been held today at the National Mosque. President-elect Bola Tinubu observed Juma'at prayers with President Muhammadu Buhari inside the Presidential Villa Mosque. After prayers, President Buhari took the incoming president round the Presidential Villa on a familiarization tour and showed him the offices inside the inner chambers of the Presidential Villa. Meanwhile, at the National Mosque where the public lecture was held, the Vice President-elect, Senator Kashim Shettima, pledged that the Bola Tinubu administration will hit the ground running immediately after the official swearing-in on the 29th of May.
Telling deficit because of our high internet penetration index, because of our youthful population, because of our proximity to Europe, and because of our proficiency in English language. India last year earned $135 billion from global outsourcing. How much did we earn as an oil-producing nation? Not more than $30 billion. So ours is a great nation that is waiting to unleash its full potential to the world. China was once described as a sleeping giant. China had woken up. Nigeria needs to wake up. Inshallah, we are calling on all of you to pray for us, for Allah's guidance, for wisdom, and for protection. I want to reassure you that Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will hit the ground running from day one. Inshallah, because we do not actually have the luxury of time. The challenges facing us are humongous. As the Chinese will say, the worst cause that a Chinese man may wish for you is for you to live in interesting times. And indeed, we are living in interesting times. But be rest assured that in the fullness of time, Nigerians will come to pay glowing tributes to Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima there speaking at the presidential inauguration public lecture. Let's bring in our correspondent Habidah Lawal for more on the countdown. Habidah, walk us through today's events. There we heard the Vice President-elect talk about, calling for prayers, for wisdom and for protection, even as they take on the reins of power.
Well, Ambassador, it is interesting to note that Nigerians does not start any ceremonies without prayer. And as such, this inaugural Juma'at prayer service is a notable one, considering the fact that Nigeria is one of the most religious people on earth, according to a Google data, even overriding Saudi Arabia and Israel. And with this service, it signifies the fact that the incoming administration and the transition process, they are praying for it to be seamless. And the incoming administration understand the enormous task ahead of them. You could hear the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima talking about the challenges ahead of them with regards to the economy, security, and the fact that Nigeria needs to grow beyond these challenges to ensure that in the next 4 years, we'll be telling a different story. And dignitaries present at the event, you have the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, also corroborating what the Vice President-elect have said at this event, the fact that Nigerians in general, it's time to have a uniting point, and a prayer as such is a force that unites people regardless of where they come from, Ambassador.
And also quite profound is a statement that there's no luxury of time to waste. It's to hit the ground running from day one. Talk to us more about that.
Well, before where you have a luxury of time to put together your cabinet. This time around, there is a law that says within 60 days, you have to put that in place. So again, we'll expect to see that the incoming administration understands this and work with that timing to ensure that all hands are on deck in different sectors of the economy to ensure that these visions are actualized.
All right. And of course, talk to us more about, dignitaries who attend the event and their expectations from the new administration.
Well, you have some top security personnel that also attended the event. Again, this event is signifying the Muslim and Juma'at service. By tomorrow, you also have a public lecture at the International Conference Center. And of course, on Sunday, you have the Christian service, which will take place at the National Ecumenical Center before Monday, where we have the inauguration day.
And could you just describe what security looked like around that venue?
Well, the security was watertight because, of course, there have been concerns around the fact that there will be, or there is a possible, there might be possible situation where you have a disruption of the inauguration process. And of course, this week being the inauguration week, and there are several events leading to May 29th. Of course, Abuja is wearing a very tight security looks, and you could see fighter jets displaying their air power as well up until this evening. So again, it's just to reinforce the fact that security is on top of their game and to ensure that the process goes hitch-free.
And Abuja residents themselves, how are they taking all of this? And the last time we witnessed something of this nature was in 2019.
Well, the press release rolled out today states compared to 2019, because there have been some elements of disruption and there have been protests here and there and people protesting to the venue of the presidential tribunal, that is the Supreme Court sitting in Abuja. You have security advisory stating that from today, Friday, from 200 hours, you have some parts of the Eagle Square cordoned off. And of course, leading tomorrow, you have a total cordoning off the venue of the inauguration leading up to Sunday and of course, the day of the event. So compared to 2019, you understand that there are different disparities in some elements and non-state actors that have been threatening to cause mayhem on that day. And of course, the Department of State Services have come out several times to release statements that they are on top of the security situation and there's no cause for alarm about it.
And Habidah, I'm curious, how are you as a journalist feeling covering this epoch event?
Well, it's exciting considering the fact that also for journalists, we've not been taken through this tedious accreditation process. You have to be accredited by the state service themselves, and that was done all through the week for different media. It's also exciting that this kind of event comes every 4 years. You get to get a deeper meaning and knowledge into the unity of Nigeria and how people tend to come together for a state function such as this. You also have people, foreign delegates that will come in. You don't get to see that every day.
So maybe I should just congratulate you on that beautiful experience you're having at this time. Thank you very much, Habidah, for talking to us on the program. Well, that's it today on the program. Thank you very much for joining us. Watch a repeat broadcast at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And of course, Monday is D-Day. Stay with TVC News for up-to-date information, analysis, coverage of the presidential inauguration that will be taking place at the Eagle Square in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Abosede Adeniran Adiremi.